Welcome back to another exciting stream from Stinkpot Studios. This is the Stinkpot Shack Show, everyone. Tonight's action features Art of Conquest. Now, what we are doing right now is currently there have been some changes in regards to races and research. So, we're going to go from our human race, which we are currently, I've been doing the human race ever since I began the game, but tonight only, we are going to go to the Dwarf race. So we're going to go check out that because in Anonymous, our house, we've been debating, which one's better. Is it Dwarf, is it Lich, or is it Human? So I'm going to be using a grading system. That's why this one's called Episode 1, because we are going to have a look at the Dwarf race tonight. And probably maybe one more time. So we'll get ample time with each race, and there's three main categories that we are going to be looking at. We're going to see how well does the race do in PvP, how well does the race do in Siege, and how well does it do with troop cost. So, I'll make a spreadsheet as we go and keep tabs on every race that we go to, and then we'll come back and compare it to humans when we're done. So, Episode 1 is going to be Dwarf, and then when we're ready to switch again, we'll go over to Lich, and then we'll finally end up back on the human race. So, if you haven't been playing lately, you should hop in and check out all the different changes that have happened. So, the main thing that has changed since the last major update is the way research takes place. So, if I go into my city now and go into my castle, I can hit the research button. Now, the first thing you may notice is there's a green plus over the academy now to indicate, hey, you need to do some research. So it's more prominent now. And before, you only had two branches. I think military science and something else that you could only dabble into. But now you can see it's broken down by troop type. So for the human race, this is spearmen, this is then archers, footmen, lancers, priestesses, and finally siege. So that is where we stand right now, and we are going to have a look at the other one. So also what I've noticed within each individual branch that you can research for each troop, you have different things. So before, it was either one branch was all gold to upgrade and the other one was all elixir. Now you can tap on each one and see this one for fitness training costs gold, and then the next one, combat training. Oh, I don't have enough for it yet. Let's go into one where I can actually show you, because I pretty much don't like the spearman, so I've barely upgraded that one. So starting again, so fitness training is gold, and combat training is wood, and agility training is also gold, and then basic fitness training is your elixir, and convalescence is wood. Advanced fitness training is back on gold, which I would expect. And then that's as far as I can go on that one. So you can see that there's different costs by resource types for each of the sub-branches you want to go into. So now it gets really interesting, because you're going to have people out there that say, hey, I want to focus on making my units tougher and harder. So they might go into fitness training or they might want to focus on attack rating, which will make them do more faster attacks. Or they might want to go into attack speed or fitness training, which again is the hit points. But convalescence is an interesting one, because if you've ever had to spend days waiting for your hospital troops to heal, convalescence will help that, because it'll reduce the time they're needed to remain in the hospital. So that's where we're at tonight. And so yeah, let me collect my little resource pumps before we head on over to the Dwarf race, because all of this that we see right now is going to change. Let me take a quick screenshot of how my beautiful kingdom is right now, and we can see the difference later. So right now, the only thing I have upgrading is my city wall, and I am currently level 21, it's level 21. To get to 22, it costs 62k wood, but I still have a couple more buildings. They're just baby buildings, 21,000 and 21,000. for the warehouse and the magic stream. So soon I will be level 22, but let's get started. We're going to go ahead and change our race right now. So let's get on over to the dwarfs. Now you will also notice that Rakan and Sylph are down here in this list, and it just says coming soon for each of those. So when those two races come out, we're going to have to revisit this series and add those two to our grading system to see really, you know, of the 5, which one is going to be the best one for what you particularly want to do in the game. But we'll see how that goes later. So right now I've been human. And one more thing else I want to point out before we switch over is during this grading system, the only thing I'm going to focus on grading are going to be the silver troops and the gold troops. I'm not going to worry about the bronze because frankly, once you get high enough level, no one really cares about the bronze anymore. So I'm just going to focus. Now you might see this person here, gold, that's Archangel. That's what I have from being Duke of Griffinhold. So you have to be a Duke, and there's a couple other stipulations to have access to that troop. So that's that one. So let's get on over to the dwarf race. And here we go. We are dwarf bound. It's going to cost, let's see, why is it, you cannot change races while, oh lord, while building constructions in progress. How much is that going to cost me? That's going to cost me quite a bit, I think. I wish it wouldn't have done. Wish I would have known that one. So apparently that's one thing we know is you can't change races if you got something upgrading. It's like I'm just going to be spending some money to get this done real quick. 10 hours, man. Gotta rush 10 hours, and that's going to be a crazy amount. Oh yeah. 9 hours is going to cost me about 4,800 Lenari, which I do not have. 30 minutes is going to be 50 Lenari, but I can only do that 4 times, so that's not going to be helpful. So, can I cancel it somehow? Man, that really is a bummer for today's stream. I wish I had known that. So I still got 11 hours. And I have no rushing ability. Surprised it just doesn't let me use Lenari to just do it. Change race? Yep, current race. Won't let me go anywhere. So now I cannot change race, guys. I'm sorry about that. That kind of ruins this whole episode. There's really no quick way of doing it that I can see. I've rushed all I can rush. I've used my entire rushing ability. Why don't they let you cancel it though? Get your wood back or whatever. I wish I could just cancel it now. Can I go to the castle and cancel it? Nope, it's already gone there. If anyone has any ideas, put it in the live chat, because I am really curious now on how I'm going to get this done for you guys. So 3-hour rush, that's just... The most I can do there is 6 hours, and I need 10. Almost 11 hours rush just to... I just don't see how I can do it right now. What? Anything in here? Nope. Nothing in there that's going to help me. Anything in here that's going to help me? Nope. Nothing in there. Any quests I can do that sometimes they give me a rush ability. Yeah, that's 30 minutes for that one. 30 minutes for that one, so that's an hour there. So I can rush an hour with that. And I would have to buy, let's see. I have to buy 3 of those. I mean, I would have to, even if I buy 3 of those, that's 9 hours plus my 10 hours, so I'm still 41 minutes short. And then I could, yeah, I could, so yeah, Looks like we're spending some money. Let's do what I can without spending money, and then we'll finish it up. So Peaches, if you're watching, all my Lenari is now about to go bye-bye because I have to be able to switch this race. And the only way to do it is with Lenari and spending money. So here we go. 1, 2. And let's rush that. 6-hour rush. Now I need 4 hours, 39 minutes. So in order to be able to do the next one, I need 1620 Lenari, and so I need 1100 Lenari. And to get 1100 Lenari, wow, that's going to be $15. Or for $5, like, oh, yeah, right there. 300 Lenari plus times 2. That looks like it might be it. Let's see. Sorry for everything, all of the delay so far. I did not realize that doing this would... I didn't realize that you can't change races while your buildings are upgrading. So that's the problem I'm going through right now. So let's go ahead and we need 500 more Lenari in order to get that next one. 500 Lenari is what I need now. And they sure don't make this cheap, do they? I could get that. Now it's only 120 Lenari. Get that. That's only 0 Lenari. And there's probably not a deal on Lenari in here. So I need how much? Need 4 hours. There's my 4 hours right there. 50% off. Is that the same one? Yeah. There it is right there. 4 hours. 4 hours. Boom. There's my 4 hours. Okay, I think we got it now. Rushed 4 hours. And now to get the last bit set, I can do some quests to get the last set of rush. So let's go do some quests real quick. What we're trying to do now is we're just trying to get enough rush capability so we can go to the Dwarf race, because that's the whole point of this episode, is we want to start grading these races and see how they measure up to each other. But right now, since my city wall is being upgraded, I've had to spend a few dollars to rush get the rush ability higher so I can rush my city wall, so then I will finally be able to rush on over to the dwarf race. So, and that's fitting, we're attacking dwarves to be dwarves. So what I do here is I'm just going to blow them up. They won't know what hit them, and here we go. So this battle, I'm taking everything I have, a mixture of gold, silver, priestesses, and everything, and recruited archers to blow away my enemy, because I want to become dwarf. So the only way to become a dwarf is to do this quest, because it'll get me 30 minutes of rushing, and then there's another quest to get me another set. I lost quite a bit of troops on that, but that's okay because it's the free troops that I've gained over the course of time. Lost 1 gold in the hospital, but that's not a big deal. I don't really care about that. So my heroes are ranging from 16 to level 19 at the moment, and there's my 30-minute rush, so I gotta do that one more time, and I'll have my hour rush that is required. So let's go kill this one now. So we got a little bit of a delay in tonight's episode because of the city wall being upgraded. So I'm doing my final quest now to allow me to rush 1 more hour, and then we'll be able to complete that city wall, and only then can we finally change races. So let me just do this last quest, and we'll head on over to our castle, and we'll convert over to the dwarf race. So, if you missed the beginning of this stream, this whole conversation started in our house anonymous, because we were curious, you know, what is the best race to be for Siege? What's the best race to be for PvP? What's the best race to be that has the best, you know, troop cost, so the most efficient troop cost? So I decided, hey, you know, we can stream about this and figure it out together. So over the course of the next several weeks, we're going to be switching races a lot and just dabbling in each one to see which one really is the best race for whatever gameplay style that you're looking for. So here we go once again. I'm going to blow up these troops real quick, and we'll get on over to the dwarf race.
Heal wounded warriors.
So this is Thursday night action on the Sting Pot Shack show, and every Thursday we're here for Art of Conquest. If you like Clash of Clans, you can join us on Tuesdays. If you like Clash Royale, we'll be here on Sundays. So this Sunday we might have a pre-recorded video. I haven't determined yet because it's Labor Day weekend, so if I'm not able to stream, I'll have a pre-recorded video in place for Sunday stream. But that attack went alright, so now we've got our last bit of rush ability available, and my hero just got up to level 19, so congrats to her. Avril's gonna get me in trouble one day. She needs to put some clothes on. But so there we go. Let's go back to our castle. I am the Duke of I keep saying Gryffindor because that's Harry Potter, but it's not Gryffindor. It's Griffinhold. There we go. I am the Duke of Griffinhold, and we're in the House Anonymous. Peaches is the Duke of we just changed, so Duke of Desby, and we call her Double D. And then we have another city called Sanctus, and I think Bonecaster runs that one. So, alright, so back into our city, and we are finally going to rush this ability. Let me put my troops in here. Yeah, I got a lot of spear guys. That's because they're bronze, and I haven't upgraded them in forever. If anybody loves to use these spear guys, I know Peaches does, but I don't really care for them. So, I don't upgrade them a whole lot. And these lizard guys, I have literally about 400,000 of them, because I just keep recruiting them for, they're basically free in my opinion, from the elite mercenary camps. So, alright, let's finish this last bit of rush. Did I not get that? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. We finally got that taken care of, so now we can finally get on over, I hope this time, and we can become Dwarf race. Is it going to let me? Okay, all it costs me now is 11,000 honor. And here we go, guys, on over to the Dwarf race. We are at level 1 castle now, and we're getting ready to turn into a level 21 engine. Human to Dwarf, the resilient dwarves outgun the competition with technological sophistication and raw explosive power, and go! We are now the Dwarf race, everyone. So, I've never been Dwarf. I've been human ever since we started. Whoa! This is a major difference. It's not so campy and, fantasy land, Walt Disney World as the human counterpart. So already I can see a major difference in the appearance of our castle here. There's a lot of gear graphics in there, very, like I said, very mechanical. I really like the color scheme they used in this. Kind of reminds me of a Clash of Clans, those TH10 town halls with the inferno and the fire and the lava. That's what this reminds me of. So far so good. I'm liking how this looks, but looks can be deceiving in the world of PvP, siege, and troop costs. So we're going to give this shot a go, and let's see. And good thing they added this plus symbol in the last update, because otherwise I'd have no idea where the academy was. So let's take a look. So the miners have replaced, looks like, the footmen, or maybe the spear guys. So what they did in the last update is they gave you the ability to change races. And when you changed races, you are supposed to retain, you're supposed to be at the same level once you on your research level. So let's go through here. Yeah, I can see at the bottom, I can see at the bottom that my, probably should have screen capped that, but yeah, I had the most in siege, and over here I still have the most in siege. So that seems to have worked out alright. Let's take a look at the siege here. Okay, yep, this is the one I was working at. Wall destruction is what I was working at when I was on the human side. So that seems to be all in place. I still have access, I had the Royal Hammer on the human side, and over here I have the new Thunder Fist. So, I wonder if let's go right off the bat. I know from memory that the Royal Hammer on the human side cost roughly 13,000 gold and 1,100 blood gems. So let's see how much that costs over here. Let's see, now we gotta figure out where these troops are. Probably that guy. Wow, look at that difference. That is a lot more than the human. So the difference is it no longer uses blood gems for the gold level. It uses mithril, but the blood gems I only needed 1,100, and the mithril I needed 1,594, as well as 4,000 more gold than the human counterpart. So far, the humans are winning the troop cost category in the gold category. So, we're going to, after the stream is over, I'm going to make a spreadsheet that's going to have all these values in here. And so I'll be able to compare tonight some of these troops. And like I said earlier, I'm not going to focus on the bronze troops when I'm comparing. I'm only going to focus on the silvers and the golds. So that's where we're at there. Now let's go back and let's see some of the other troops. Okay, so that's different, huh? There's two maybe I had it wrong. Because here is the blood gems, and maybe this is what the counterpart for the Royal Hammer is. Because here the blood gems 864 and the gold cost is only 9,700 compared to 13,000. So I need to do some more research on that and see if this is what the equivalent of the Royal Hammer is. If it is, then it's actually cheaper than the Royal Hammer. So, I know that the dwarfs are more mechanically and technologically advanced, so maybe they just have more vehicles that I can use. But I really need to figure out, which is the correct counterpart for the Royal Hammer, because I don't want to give you guys the wrong information as we go through with this. So I don't have the gold unit for the engineer upgrade, so I'm not sure what that counterpart is, because I think the only counterpart I didn't have on the human side was the spear guy. That should have been the only troop I didn't have gold in. So let's just keep going through these buildings. Here's another gold troop. Melee mech unit. It's a battle mech. Overlord pushes the mechs to their limits, greatly increases attack speed. They have a force field, they have a drill bit attack, a razor strike. They're considered a large unit and a mech type. They're not affected by morale, they're immune to poison, and do not get injured. So if they don't get injured, that's a big... If they don't get injured, that must mean that they automatically die and you don't get them back. I bet that's what that means. So what we're going to do is I'm going to... Let's see if it converted my army over as well. So it did not. So I'm a dwarf, but I still have my entire human army. So that could be interesting. And I would expect on my wall that I just spent thousands of dollars to upgrade, I would expect it also to have human troops as well, and it does. So that's a couple things we've learned so far from going from human to dwarf is you retain your army, and your research points that you have allocated already carry over into your new race. So that's a big plus because, you know, I remember watching Kingdom Chat and World Chat before this update, and people were hesitant. They're like, hey, if you're going to switch to Lich or whatever, you better make sure, you know, you got the time and money to spend it because you're going to have to research your troops all over again. Well, they fixed that now, so now you don't have to do any rebuild time. So yeah, I should be able to compare these a lot easier since I have access, since I still have my gold human stuff. And let's see if I can... Yeah, I can make, so... Wow, so that's what we're going to do now, is let's start going and do some raids to see if we can get some, you know, dwarf troops made so we can start fighting with them and see how they rank versus the human army. I guess that's would be a good test to do. We can go find some piddly tests and I can put in a dwarf unit and put in the human counterpart to it and see it live in one battle and see how it holds up. So let's see if we can't do that right now. We'll start with some bronze troops because it probably won't even let me make bronze troops because I'm way over my cap. Yeah, I have 1471 and I'm only allowed 1015 of the bronze. So it looks like gold is all I'm going to be able to make because I can only have one more silver troop. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the elite mercenary camp because I should be able to recruit some bronze troops or whatever there, and they should be dwarf units this time. So we're going to head on down to Devilmar and we're going to recruit some troops and see what we get tonight. So once again, this is the Stinkpot Shack Show. We're just heading on down to Devilmar to recruit some troops. We are in Art of Conquest tonight. We are streaming the Dwarf race. We just switched to Dwarf. And here we are at the Elite Mercenary Camp, and it gave me more skeletons, so I didn't need those at all. We'll go on over to, we'll head on over to Ethos and get the other Elite Mercenary Camp and see what that brings us here. So, and we have our first visitor of the night, Nook. Welcome to live chat. Good to have you here. I'm really glad you're a supporter of our channel. You know, you're one of the regulars that keeps things interesting and keep me on my toes. So it's nice having your interaction here. So I appreciate you being in here. So are you watching or are you just listening on your way to work? So we're almost to the next elite mercenary camp. Oh, he's chasing me. So anyone that isn't familiar with Nook, he's in the House Anonymous, and he helped me take over Desby, our third city, earlier this week. I remember waking up as soon as I woke up, because our house lord were talking the previous night and said keep an eye on these cities. And as soon as I woke up, I popped on and like, oh my God, nobody's here, and there's only one city left. We gotta go take it down. So I immediately got on Discord, immediately got in chat and said, red alert, all hands on deck. We gotta go take the city out. And Nick was one of the first to respond, so you know, he's very reliable in our house, and I appreciate that. And there he is on screen. So there's his YouTube premiere for tonight. Nook is in Art of Conquest. There he is. He is power 135, so damn, you're catching up with me pretty good. But what I have in my back pocket is I don't know how you are, but I've retained all of the rewards we got when this last update hit. So I have 50 vials of elixir, which equates to about 500,000 elixir that I have yet to use. And same with gold. I have 390,000 gold that I haven't used. So if I were to do that and start researching like crazy, I'd probably shoot up to close to 200k power. But I'm a patient guy. Oh, you're I think most people did. As soon as that update hit, they just said, you know, cha-ching, and they were off researching. So that's where we're at, and let's see. So I might use some of that to research tonight. I don't know. I kind of just want to see. I was kind of hoping to get some dwarf units in that. And you know, it'd be nice. One thing, you know, I can understand being a human race, we're riding a horse and whatnot, but it would be nice if when you switch races, it would also switch your mount to, like, I could, you know, envision being some mechanical mount I would be riding now. So that's one thing I would like to see changed if they ever get around to doing something like that. You know, if you change races, your mount should match that, because right now, as far as I know, there's only 2 mounts in the game, and that's these horses and what the kings wear, the griffin mount. So those are the only ones I know of. So what we're going to do is, let's see, I need to go back to my castle real quick. And I don't know what the equivalent for archers would be over on this side. Let's see, this is, what do I have the most of? Let's see what I have the most of, and we'll start focusing on that. So I have the most of the blood, which is probably going to be the catapult type troops. I have 500, and I need, so yeah, we'll make a couple. Yeah, that'll probably work. We'll make a couple of oh, it says 194. What do I have? 143. So let's go do some blood work real quick. Anyone donating some blood gems, give me a holler. I'll come over and siphon it out of you. That's one thing. We are the Blue Kingdom, and you've noticed we've pretty much taken over the entire map. And since we've done that, I don't know how everyone else is, but I've noticed that the carts available to rob have significantly dropped. So there's less carts to rob, and there's less cities to loot as well. So I've just been focusing on getting a little piles of stuff here and there. Did it switch all? Yeah, so in case you missed that, Nook, did it switch all your units to the respective dwarves? Yes, that's one thing I pointed out in the beginning when I first switched, because I switched just for the stream. This stream is focused on the dwarf race, and I just had to spend probably $5 to $8 to do it, because it wouldn't let me switch race until all of my buildings were finished upgrading, because I had my city wall being upgraded at the time, and it was 11 hours away, so I had to scramble and spend some money to get that done just so I could switch over to the race. So yeah, that's what I did just tonight. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what the equivalents are right now, because in the human race, you only had one mechanical unit, and that was basically your catapult. But over here, I have 2 buildings that make mechs, and this building is my level 6 workshop. So the workshop, I would think, would be the equivalent of the catapult. But I also have this level 7 factory, which on the human side, I don't believe you had a factory. So I'm not sure which one is actually the catapult equivalent for the dwarf side. So in the factory, I can make Excelsiors, so basically cannons, and on the workshop, I can make Thunder Fist, which is a heavy siege weapon. So since it says siege, that's probably the catapult variant, but I don't really know, because the costs are way different between this siege weapon and the human siege weapon. So the human siege weapon gold costs 13,000 gold and 1,100 blood diamonds, but the siege weapon over here is 1594 mithril and 17,000 gold. So that seems like it's contrast a lot with the price. But then I go over here to the factory, and that seems more in line with the gold catapult, because, you know, it's only a few thousand away on gold and a few hundred away on the blood gems. So that's one thing we got to figure out, is which is the equivalent for the catapult over on the dwarf side. So, but enough about that. I've beat that into the ground. So now we have this troop, which is a miner hut. It's called a technician. Dwarf close combat unit with robust defense and modest offensive capabilities, suited to protracted battle. Humanoid unit. So maybe a technician is the equivalent of footman. Let's keep going down the line and see what else we got. What else we can make. Oops. So the next is the mech workshop. So here's a third mech unit that we can have. So yeah, it's getting pretty interesting on what I can do. So I can make 1 silver right now. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll see what this guy does. Melee mech unit. He has a force shield. He has a drill bit attack and a razor strike. A large unit. Huh. Very interesting stuff. I'm going to cancel this silver, and I'm going to... No, I can't make any more bronze. I have to make silver, and I think I can only make 1 silver, yeah. So I really need to get some more resources so I can make some golds to really test this out. And we have... Here's the rifleman. So I would imagine the rifleman is the equivalent of the archers. I think that's a fair assessment. But the gold... Yeah, precision... Rifle dwarf range unit. Reload time is slow, but the damage is tremendous. It's got a headshot, so that's like a sniper ability. Ammo. See, that's the thing I didn't like when I recruited dwarves on the human side, is their ammo is limited, and it seemed like once they ran out of ammo, they pretty much just stood there and just got beat to death. So maybe that's one of the drawbacks I'm going to find out with the dwarf army, but we're not going to know that for sure until we get in there and start doing some battles. There's tactics school. I guess I could do that for practice just to see what this stuff's all about. Wow, and now we got a level 7 camp. What are these rocket launcher guys? Ranged dwarven troops. And there's 2 ranged troops that we have. I think the only ranged troops you had on the human side were maybe the spear guys and the archers. So these guys have fire all ammunition in a short amount of time. So basically they just blow their load in a quick succession. And then you have their black powder ability, which increases the blast radius of rockets. And then it's also a siege weapon. So this is kind of like the all-in-one special here. It can hit a wall with damage, and it can, you know, do a lot of damage to troops real quick. Ammunition will be spent during battle. Once they're out of ammunition, their attack speed is reduced. Okay, so they still fight after they're out of ammo. It's just their attack rating goes way down. And it's also a humanoid unit. So, let's see what else we got. Okay, that's that. That's not really a troop there. That's the ones we just looked at, I believe. Level 7 camp. Tactics school. What's this one down here? Oh, that's my other ranged unit. So we have 2 ranged units, 3 mech units, 3 different mech units, and there was one. Let's see, that's my mech. That's my mech. And that's my non-mech. So yeah, and 1 footman type thing. I think also the heroes you have, yeah, so I think the big hero that's going to matter in this bunch is going to be my my dwarf hero, Grimm's, because I might have to change his abilities up, because right now I have him all in basically on which one? Yeah, so Siege Mastery, is where I put most of my points in for him, because I wanted my human cannons, or catapults, sorry, to do as most damage as they can. But now, since I have all these ammo things to worry about, I might have to switch this to reload ammunition and ammo wagon to give them guys longer to attack. So let's see what ammo wagon does. It gives allied ammo uses, so it gives them more capacity. If I go up ammo wagon and reload, replenishes all their ammo by 30%. So I think that's a pretty good, I think that's no-brainer. So I'm going to go ahead and reload those to make his ability to help my ammo people a lot better. So we'll learn ammo wagon. Let's go back and learn reload ammunition. We have one of each now, and I'll go ahead and I still need my siege mastery, so I'll do one in that. But now I'm primarily going to focus on ammo wagon and reload ammunition, so let's just keep pumping those guys up. And 8, so that one more, bam. So I got 5 troops, do that one more time. So now my ammo wagon gives an extra 10% capacity, which that should help tremendously. And then 40% extra ammo on the battlefield when I replenish. So there we go with the heroes. So yeah, this is interesting so far. Like I said earlier, I really like the style of this castle. It's not so campy and fantasy with like the humans was. This is more grit, mechanical type, you know, more manly kingdom here. So we'll see how this goes. And let's go do some battles, because I really need to get some more gems. I need some mithril and some crystals. So let's see. Still nobody out here to rob. Let's go over and look at Blue Kingdom, see if there's any loot I can take from them. So once again, this is the Stinkpot Shack Show. We have about 10 minutes left in the stream. I'm going to go a little over tonight because it took me probably 15 to 20 minutes to figure out and pay some money and how I was going to switch on over to the Dwarf race. So that took a majority of the beginning amount of time. So I'm going to go a little bit over tonight so we can get, you know, a real good hold on what this Dwarf race is all about. And hopefully we can find 180. That's not bad. Let's see if there's any better ones out here. Yeah, when I'm looking for gems or whatnot, I generally don't like to look at them or consider attacking them unless two things are true. Do they have low walls, health, and is the gem amount at least 200-300? Because if it's not, I'm not going to get a whole lot. This is a 127k wall, but you only get 99 gems. Now this might be worth attacking if that wall was down in the 20k range, but that wall is too great for me. I'm not going to get many blood gems out of that, so we're just going to keep looking. And sadly, the loot is not very plentiful as it used to be, so I might have to resort to quests and just, you know, go out and find some piles of this stuff, because that seems to be the most efficient way nowadays since we control the majority of this server. It'll be interesting to see what they do, because I'm sure there's plenty of servers out here where, you know, one color has taken complete control. And that's one of the negative feedbacks I heard about this update with the migration, is that everybody's just, you know, they're not really trying to PvP anymore. They're just all joined up with this super kingdom and just joining one color just so they can take it all over. And that's basically what happened on our server. You know, yellow was our strongest contender, and once they saw what we were up to, instead of, you know, trying to fight back and get some of their territory back, most of those guys just came over and joined our kingdom, and that really defeated the intention of the update, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see how the developers react to that reality, and hopefully they can make it better, because, you know, I can see, I'm, for one, loving this game, and I have the patience to withstand whatever they bring at us. But a lot of these players are kids, and they don't have the patience level. So when it gets boring for them, they're just going to probably cut out on the game if they don't fix that aspect of it, which is unfortunate. But that is the world that we live in. Everybody wants, you know, that's why game developers are having trouble making games, because, you know, all they want to do is just rush and complete the game real quick, and then they move on to the next game. That's the console players that tend to do that. So that kind of takes away from these style of games that are tended to be, you know, geared toward the MMO style. And once they complete the content, they pretty much peace out. So I don't know what to think about that. I just know I always find plenty to do, and especially the pay-to-win people. They're probably really upset right now because, especially the Yellow Kingdom, I know there was a lot of pay-to-win people on that team, and now they've blown all this money, and then we took their kingdom and we basically took their server away from them, so they might have a lot of resentment on that aspect of things. But, you know, I'm not a pay-to-win guy. I'll just sit here and grind. I'd rather, you know, I'm an MMO guy, and I'll just sit here and grind tirelessly for hours and hours to achieve what I want. But everybody else wants that instant gratification these days. So sorry I haven't found a good base yet. We just keep going through these cities, and there just isn't anything around anymore. So I'll go look a couple more cities, and if we can't go, then I'll just go do some quests real quick to try and get some gems. Because if I can't get more than 10 gems from a player, then I might as well be out there doing quests and stuff. Because I'm going to get about this, if I go out and find a pile of stuff, I think 10 is the most it'll give me, even especially the bigger piles. I think the big piles of Mithril will give you maybe 30. But yeah, it's not a whole lot. So let's head on over to the Green Kingdom, and as we're en route to them, we'll keep an eye on any piles that may be around to see if we can't get some gems real quick. So if you are just joining us and you missed earlier part of the broadcast, we are trying out the Dwarf race tonight. We were human earlier, and now we're trying Dwarf on for size. And I haven't decided how long I'm going to be a Dwarf race. Long enough to really gauge how good they are, but I don't want to stay on a race forever, because, you know, the value of this series for you guys is to see the differences between all three races. So you know, probably 2 streams at most, I would say, is all I'm going to spend on each one, and that'll give me time to, you know, since I only stream Art of Conquest once a week, you know, on my offline times, I'll be able to get my army built up. So when we come back next week for Art of Conquest, I'll be able to show you more battles with the dwarves to really gauge where they are in siege warfare and where they are in PvP. Yeah, it was bees when they all moved the scar. That's true. It's true. Alright, so let's see hopefully there's something in this Green Kingdom. Devilmar has been slowly reducing in numbers. Oh, there's 421. I wish I could do it, but Nook didn't take out those 81 defense for me, so sorry guys, you have to blame him for that. He didn't clear that out for me. So we'll have to find it. Up, here we go. That's 102 blood gems, but the wall is pretty high at 150k, so I'll have to pass on that as well. 137, high wall. Let's check out these other 2 greens, and if we don't find anything there, then we'll just do some quests real quick. It'll be healing for days. Well, I'm still butthurt from losing my Royal Hammer last week. That's one of the reasons why I didn't mind going to Dwarf Land, because, you know, it would literally take me 2 or 3 weeks to get 1100 blood gems back to be able to get a Royal Hammer. So I don't even know if I'll be able to get that gold Dwarf equivalent by next week. I'll try real hard, but I don't know. It's going to be difficult to do it by next week. So, come on. That's a good one. Oh, 79 plus. 159. Just not finding the numbers that are ideal for me. Let's head on up to orange. AOC Elite is the main orange house, and I've noticed that especially in what's that city? Oh, Direwatch. Yeah, they were low and now they're blue. I didn't realize we had got that one now. So yeah, their numbers are going down quick as well. So it won't be long before orange will be gone. I think it'd be nice if we just, you need 10 cities to have a king in a kingdom. So I wouldn't mind if we left, just 9 of each color around just to give them something to do. I don't want to totally eradicate them, but I don't want them to be powerful enough where they can have a king and start, getting some loot. So if we could keep them at bay into 9 cities, I wouldn't mind that as a nice compromise. But what city is this? That's Gareth. So let's go on up to the orange real quick in Ironstone. I think 2 days is the longest I've had to heal my troops, and that just sucks. But now you have that research ability that allows you to research convalescence, which will allow you to reduce the time in your hospitals. Man, there's some good gems up here. I just don't have the power to clear out those armies. So if you guys have questions from tonight's stream, shoot me a line or something, and I'll be glad to answer it in the next one, because, this stream is all about what I can do for you guys. And when we're comparing these races, if you have any questions or things you want answered, just let me know, and I'll, try to find the answer for you by next week and see, because, what I'm just comparing is, are they effective in Siege? Are they effective in PvP? And where do they rank on troop cost? But if there's other areas you want to explore, like the research facet of it, just shoot me a message, and, I'll make sure to comment on it next week. So this is the first night. This is episode 1. We're looking at the Dwarf race. We're basically just getting our feet wet with it, and next week's stream we'll really go into some battles and see, what this Dwarf race is all about. But tonight we're just getting our feet wet. Alright, let's go find some gems. 11, 32, 10. Those are escort missions, so I'll save those for later tonight. But let's go do this one for now. Get some purple. So Nook, when you gonna be the next Duke? Because we're soon getting our 4th city. We'll have to convince Mino to give it to you or somebody, because you seem to be pretty active. So we'll have to see if we can persuade him to give you your own city to look after. Because that 100% loot bonus comes in handy. As well. Oh, that's another thing we can look at. What's the, on humans, we have the Archangel, but when I switch races, I lost her. So I don't have her anymore. So do they have a counterpart over here that I can get? That looks different. This whole rank menu has changed. I am Duke. There it is. Steam Bastion. New troop. Steam Bastion. Where's that? How do I get that? Oh, you're Duke of... Okay. Oh, you had to make your own house. Okay, that's what you were talking about earlier when you said you got your own house. Okay, I gotcha. I thought you was talking about a house in real life. Like, oh, you bought a house. Congratulations. Alright, let's see here. Let me see if I can't figure out. Where's that Steam Bastion at? That's not it. Where was it? I'm trying to think where I built it. Oh, in the human, it was with the catapult. was the Steam Bastion. So if I find the right building, I should be able to find it here. Is it this one? Nope. Yeah, that makes sense, Nook. Because you probably feel real disconnected in your own house. Workshop. Thanks, Peaches. Where's the... I don't think we have... Is it out here? I don't think I have a building in Dwarfland called Workshop. Maybe I do. What's that? Okay, that's my hospital. There's the workshop. Is this what the angel equivalent is? The Thunder Fist? Okay, Nook says factory. Let's go to the factory. I just don't... It doesn't say anything about, you know, needing Duke to have any of these. Leviathan. Go back. Okay, Peaches, I'm back. Oh, there it is. Leviathans. Thank you very much. If you switch race or your race rank changes, your Steam Bastion will leave your army. So he's a level 6. Let's take a look at this guy. Impregnable war machine with limitless firepower. Redeploy active. This unit adjusts its navigation system, hovering to the specified location. A double 183mm cannon. A Gatling gun times 10. Rocket launcher times 2. Super unit. Can be used by only the commander who trained it. Blah, blah, blah. Deals bonus damage. And it's a mech unit. Immune to poison. Does not get injured. And just like the angel, it will also not die in battle. Expends energy. So, thanks, Peaches and Nook. Thank you very much. Yes, you're very helpful. Because I only have one pair of eyes, and they're getting older as time goes on. So, thank you. Real helpful. You guys are my biggest supporters, and I'm glad you're here tonight. So, wow. Peaches, look at your angel and see what the power of the angel is. Because this guy is 6103 on power, and I'm thinking the angel was like 5,000 something. So, let me get this guy. How do I get him? Oh, free rush, right there. Bam. I can queue. I think this one, yeah, it costs... Won't even let me get it. Train. How do I train it? Upgrade? Huh, I want to make it. I know the angel took 24 hours to make one. It says free rush. I should still be Duke. I know I am. Yeah. I have that rank. Wonder if that's a bug. Anybody, do my good pair of eyes out there, did you see how I can get that? Back to Leviathan. I don't see how to train it. Train button's great. Or, yeah, if I tap, oh, there it is. I thought I already hit that, but maybe not. There we go. So now 24 hours from now, we'll be able to get a look at the Leviathan, which is actually called the Steam Bastion. So that'll be fun. And if you are unfamiliar, these are new. They just came in the last update. So the humans get an Archangel, and the Dwarves get the Steam Bastion. But the trick behind them is every time you use them in battle, it costs energy just like a hero does. And your heroes get 1 energy every 2 hours. Well, these guys only get 1 energy every 8 hours. So you have to be real picky on when you use them. Like, whenever I do my next boss battle, I'm probably going to use this guy. And I've used the angel already in some battles, but... So 6103 is the angel, so yeah, so their power is identical. Because this one's also 6103. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to using that tomorrow. and see how that goes. And I'm definitely not going to rush that for 2,800 Lenari. That I've already spent enough Lenari tonight. Spent roughly 4,000 Lenari to show you guys this race. So yeah, I have my miners, riflemen, blasters. And if you guys on the human side, if you can take a screenshot of this right here so I can have a side-by-side comparison, that'd be great. You can put it in Discord for me. That would be helpful. I think you can. Yeah, there's only one I can't fit on this screen. I can't zoom out, but that's okay. So yeah, I have miners, which looks like they're going to be the equivalent of, I guess, footmen. And then I have riflemen, which is probably going to be the equivalent of archers. Oops. Blasters, I'm not sure what the equivalent for those guys are. So, like I said, I still have my human army for now, and I'm slowly going to be probably switching them out. Like right now, I could probably get rid of a whole lot of the. Let me just get rid of all my bronze troops that I don't ever use and cash those puppies in. Because I really want to try some of these troops. So we'll just disband all of these guys. Give me some crazy amount of gold. Disband all these guys. We're going to lose a lot of power, but that's okay because we want to try out some dwarf troops. So now, yeah, now I can make some. Let's go ahead and make some armies now. We'll start with the footman equivalent, which is well, maybe these miner guys are the footman equivalent. I don't know. It's hard to really gauge on what the equivalents are. So I guess I'll do these because these are probably pretty equivalent to the archers. So these guys are going to be riflemen. And they only cost gold, and I just got a whole bunch of gold. So let's just make a whole group of these. How much is in a group? 10 are in a group, so we'll make one group of these. So 10 coming up. And we'll see how that goes. Because I already have riflemen from the human side. But I think I got rid of them already. Yeah, I don't have any more. So we'll compare that, and let's see what else can we compare. We will get some miners. Let's go ahead, and there's 12 in a group for that, so let's get 12 of them queued up. I probably should have done this first. Apologize for that. But what I'm going to be doing between now and next week's stream is I'm going to start making my dwarf army and start doing some battles. I'll try to do an equal amount of PvP battles, an equal amount of siege battles, and I'll record them off the air, and so we can get a good look at that next week. And then I'll also, you know, start a spreadsheet where I can start comparing the army cost of these. So that's pretty much where we're going to end it for tonight, guys. Thank you for coming out and giving your support. Thank you, Peaches, for putting that screenshot in Discord for me. And if you guys have any questions about the dwarf race for the next 2 weeks, you know, find me. Leave a comment down below, subscribe, however you feel comfortable with, you know, engaging our community here. We're trying to build our YouTube community up, so if you want to be a part of it, you know, just get yourself involved. You know, it takes a lot of courage to just speak up and say, hey, I'm here, but, you know, that's what this is all about, to, you know, as we explore this dwarf race together. So, bam. Inside joke, Peaches, huh? Bam. Or is that not the bam I'm thinking of? But anyway, Nook, thanks for coming out tonight. And there's the entryway to my kingdom. If you guys want to come on over for a visit, I'll be inside by the fire. I'm sure it's a lot warmer in my kingdom now. I got all these blacksmith areas and all these mechanical areas, so come on by, knock on the door, and we'll see this dwarf race and how it shakes out the next couple of weeks. Probably after we get done with the dwarf race, we'll be on to Lich. So we're going to spend at least 2 streams on each race as we go forward from here. This is episode 1 of the dwarf race, and you have been listening to the Stinkpot Shack Show. So my name is Steak Pot, and come on back next time. Have a good night, everybody.